So today we're talking about the EU-US travel ban. There's been so much confusion about this and I really want to debunk as much as possible by giving you 5 things that you need to understand about the EU-US travel ban. But first I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping about the structure of this YouTube channel. So if you want to skip right to the content, then it will be at this time code. Otherwise, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how I'm changing things around here. So firstly, we're doing a huge project at Nulyweds and it is taking a lot out of me. So I've decided to change the upload structure from 3 videos a week to 2 videos a week. Not only will this give me a little bit more time back, but also it will give you more time to really enjoy the videos that we put out. So the sit down talky videos are going to be on Mondays and the vlogs, exploring, but still very educational, will be on Fridays. And I hope that schedule works with you and I hope that you stick around for more content coming up this month. It's super exciting what we're working on. If you're new around here, please do subscribe to this YouTube channel for more destination wedding tips every single week. And let's dive in to a bit of politics. So, the EU-US travel ban has been making headlines in the past couple of weeks. And it's been really worrying my couples who are mostly Americans as well. And I really do sympathize if this has got you worried and stressed about maybe a holiday that you had coming up or even your wedding that's coming up. I really want to debunk some of the miscommunication that's been going on right now and hopefully put your mind a little bit at ease. The first thing to understand about the EU-US travel ban is that every EU country has control of its own borders. Let me say that again. Every EU country has control of its own borders. When they say the EU travel ban, it makes it sound like the European Union is a big country and every member is just a state and the EU is the one that makes all of the decisions. That's not actually how it works. Way more complex than that, but for our purposes today, the important thing to note is that each country within the European Union is wildly different, with different cultures, different peoples, different governments, and different border controls. They are the ones who decide exactly who is into the country and who isn't. The EU Commission does not have the power to close all of the borders of the individual states. It is completely up to them. So wait, how does this work with them saying that the EU has banned the US? Well, what the EU Commission has actually said is a recommendation. This is a recommendation, not law. If you actually read the letter, they say it many times that the EU Commission recommends that you reopen your borders to these 15 countries. Each EU member state has to make their own decision, and the EU Commission is just recommending a list of countries that they think that the EU member states should open their borders to. Now, the EU Commission has spent a lot of time in reviewing how each country across the world is handling the coronavirus outbreak and how they are responding to that pandemic. If they think that the numbers are out of control or that a specific country or government is not handling the coronavirus particularly well, then that's why they are not on the recommended list to reopen. But as I say, it is just a recommendation. What this means for you is that whichever country that you intend to get married in or the country that you intend to visit, you need to keep an eye on that specific country. I will link down below some resources that should help in terms of seeing who's open and who's not. The third thing to understand is that the US is not being singled out. I know that the headlines just sound way sexier if you say that the EU bans the US, dun dun dun, big drama, big scandal. No, they are not specifically targeting Americans. It's just that in the means testing that they did of all of the countries in the world, they are only recommending 15 for EU countries to reopen borders to. Now, of course, there are many more countries in the world than 15. So there are lots of notable misses on that list. It's just that the most notable, I suppose, is the US, and that's why it was making headlines. But there are lots of countries that are not on that recommended list. The 15 countries that the EU Commission does recommend are Algeria, Australia, Canada, Georgia, Japan, Montenegro, Morocco, New Zealand, Rwanda, Serbia, South Korea, Thailand, Tunisia, Uruguay, and China. And yeah, the UK is not on this list because the UK hasn't really left yet, so they're still considered an EU country for now. The fourth thing to understand is that this is temporary, and these recommendations are going to be revised very frequently. They're actually going to be revised every 2 weeks. In the research of this video, I've seen many weird fake newsy things saying that it's going on until 2021, or that it's going to be going on for many months, or we just don't know. That's not what they've said, and that's not what's in the letter. What's in the letter is that it's going to be revised every 2 weeks, and that it is a recommendation. So as I said, the EU countries themselves can decide to reopen their borders to the US at any time, even within the timeframes of the revisions. Which countries will listen and which won't really depends on the individual country. As I said, you need to keep an eye on the country that you are aiming to travel to, but it's not something that's going to go on forever. It is going to be revised constantly. The thing to understand is that there is almost nothing that you can do. Speaking to my couples, they feel so powerless about all of this. The nature of this pandemic is that we are powerless to a huge degree, but we do have control of one thing, and that is voting. Now, I'm not going to have any political discussions in the comments. I'm not doing it. I'm not telling you who to vote for. You do your thing. But what I will say is that who you vote for and how they decide to handle the coronavirus pandemic going forward is really, really crucial. I do generally think that the political landscape is very tied to the way that the coronavirus is and will be handled going on in the future. So voting is the most powerful thing that you can do right now. In the situation where we are powerless, you have the power to vote. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped clear up a little bit of confusion. If you have any questions, then do leave them below and give me your thoughts and comments. I'm really interested to know how you're feeling right now. I will leave some resources down in the description bar below, but until next time, I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.